Well, welcome back to the channel. This is part two of building a patio that I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, that's what I got done yesterday. It's Saturday morning. It's supposed to rain on Monday, so tomorrow I got to get some of the rubber down here and some piping. That's the plan. And of course I was thinking about it today, so I had to go get rubber roofing. This is going to be water collected off the roof. It's going to come here down kind of into a splash pool. And what I don't want is the water going back that way. That's the perimeter drain for the house. I want the water to go that way. So I'm thinking that what I could do is maybe use this elbow here and get this pipe to come over a little bit further. And when I put the rubber in here, I might do a fold so it creates a little barrier so that the water pouring off of the main roof into the splash pool doesn't go that way, and it'll go into a pipe, go that way. And maybe I'm thinking maybe I will dig some trenches in here slightly so that when we put the rubber in, it'll fold down into those trenches, and I'll put the pipes in slightly into those trenches. No, I'm just making this up, but right now this is flat, and that's going to be a bit of an issue because we end up with a bathtub here, and it's not going to drain. There's just so little slope that way that yeah, I'm gonna just try to get the pipes to drain. You know, maybe this is flat, and the little trenches, the trenches that I make that the rubber fits in, maybe those will taper to try to get any water that comes in here to have to head toward those pipes. You know, path of least resistance. Anyways, I did get a few more rocks. I found some more rocks this morning, but I think I'd like to try and find a pretty big rock to fit in here and fill this in with rocks so that I can put a rock that way and then one on top. You know, I'm absolutely sure other people could do a better job, but they're not here and I'm doing this, and I think it looks all right. Yeah, it's not up for any awards. All right, I'll film some more in a bit. All right, that's as far as I've gotten. I got a couple more hours. I'm going to try to get one more layer. I really want to get like another 20 inches higher. And I think that's where I want to get. I've just spent, I don't know how long. That's I don't know, three buckets of rocks I put in the back. So I think that's pretty good. I have to say this saw is unbelievable. It just cuts right through, and it's like on this rock I had to cut it. I wanted to use it, it was too wide, so I just cut off, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches off the back side, and it fits in there nice. So, and I've had to cut a couple of others in here, like this one, to get it to fit in here. I cut that off. You know, it's not perfect, but I'm thrilled with it. So I'm gonna go look for a rock. I think this is a rock I split years ago with feathers and wedges, and I think there's another one in here, up in the pile, that I can put across here to help tie that together. And then if I can get one more rock to sit on that, I think that'll be high enough, because this is where the water from this roof is going to come through the drainage system and fall down into a splash pool. All right, gotta go search for rocks. That's the end of day 2. I think I'd like to go one more rock higher, and I think that's doable, but that's as far as I'm gonna get this weekend. Tomorrow is Sunday, and I'm gonna work on the drainage, the rubber. But I will definitely want to get that wall done before I put the rubber down, because I'm in and out of here with the tractor, and there's just all kinds of opportunities to poke holes in it. So hopefully tomorrow I can get this figured out. I'm gonna have to dig that out to the correct slope with the excavator, and there's gonna be a lot of head scratching. If we weren't in a drought, I'd take the hose and wash this all off, but like this is where I cut. But I'm gonna actually take a hammer and chip that back so it doesn't look so pristine. And I looked and looked, couldn't find a rock to fit in here. So I found that, and I cut it so it would go in, and I knew I had that one. It's just I would really like to have one rock in there, but I can't find one. They're all I just can't find one that's gonna fit. Maybe I'll look again tomorrow, but I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, this is rock wall building with B. Bozak, the beam guy, whatever that means. All right, I've already got 3 hours into getting this sloped, and that all looks excellent. You see, I just took the foam out because I decided that was completely level, and I decided that's not good. I don't want water sitting in there. So what I did was, you see this line down here. That's the top of that's the 2-inch mark of the foam. So I'm actually gonna try to fill that in with dirt from there to nothing to get the water that does land in here to run this way. It just, yeah, I need to get the water to move, not just sit there and stagnate and hope that it finds its way out. I want to control where it goes. So I'm going to fill that in, tamp it, probably hand tamp it because I can't get the compactor in there, and get it all sloped, put the foam back, and then start working on this part of the drainage system. I got to get this to make a slope so all the stuff goes that way, and then I'll be ready to hopefully by the end of the day get some rubber in here and see how it goes. So I'm working on the drainage system, piping, and then the rubber roofing today. And you see I've got a piece of 4-inch schedule 40 here, and I drilled holes in it. I got to drill another set of holes. And you're probably saying to yourself, if you just go to the source, they make drainage pipe that already has holes in it, and you would be correct. But I have in the past dug up some of that stuff and have seen that it has failed. It's crushed because it's such a thin wall. I don't want to take that chance under the patio. I'm not going to dig this up again. I'm going to try to do it once. The other thing is, I'm using this big round rock, drainage rock around the pipe, and then it's going to be topped with a smaller rock, and it's all going to be compacted. And there's going to be point loads on here because of the rock. It's not like sand where it's all around. I just don't want it to fail. So I've gone to the added expense of buying Schedule 40. And so that's what I'm up to now, is drilling a bunch of holes. And I'll show you what... All right, so let's get this off here. That's 2 days of stonework. I don't have any time. It's supposed to rain the next couple of days, which is awesome because we haven't had much rain. So I can't go any further on this until I finish getting the rubber roofing down on here. I do want to, at the end of the day, fill in some more rock and put some tarps in here so that we don't get any washout of the newly disturbed soil into here. So I'm going to put some tarps, and we're going to get our first glimpse of what a waterfall might look like here. So there's going to be, like I talked about, two drainage pipes in here. This first one is catching the water off of the addition, and it's going to continue in a straight line. I still have to dig that out to the right slope. Of course, the pipe's going to be flipped over. The holes will be on the bottom, near the bottom. But I'm going to sculpt. This is all level. I've checked it and checked it. It's all level. It's been compacted, the soil. I'm going to slope that pipe ever so slightly, and then I'm going to slope up to the foam. And then this over here, this is my brilliant idea, or I don't know, maybe it's not brilliant. I'm going to use this pipe buried. That end's going to stay where it is. This pipe is going to get buried flush to the ground here, and that will give me a tapered berm when I put the rubber roofing on. A nice easy berm so that the water that comes off the waterfall doesn't go into that, how the footing drains. I don't want it to back flush into there. I want it to go the other direction. And seeing how this is so flat in here, I want to give it the best chance by creating this little berm here. The rubber roof will go over this, and hopefully any water that does come out of that, this will be gently sloped over to there. So there's a bunch of fussy dirt work here to get before I can even think about putting the rubber roofing down. And of course I've got that trench to make. There's lots to do. So that's the plan today. And I think what we've talked about is I'm going to start the pipe that's going to carry the water off the main house. I'm going to start it back here, and then it'll make a bend and go straight down. And this is going to be some kind of a splash pool. It's not been determined yet. This is all a design in flux, I guess you want to say. All right, so I'm going to go drill some more holes and then start doing some removing more dirt. All right, I got that fixed. I got this dug. The excavator did almost all of it. I had to hand dig some. It's completely flat and tapers. There's a pitch to it, and it's all compacted. I don't have I'm going to put this off to the very end. I want to get this leveled out, but that's not priority. Priority is now to try to get some rubber in here, and the other priority is to try to get this, some kind of tarps in there. So I'm gonna go do something I've never done. Wish me luck. This is 3 days of non-stop go, go, go. And I know what you're saying. That's not the right way to do this. And you would be correct. But all of the rubber is put on, you know, they got the shingle effect going on. This piece is under that piece is under that piece. The zip tape really sticks really well. We use it on the roof when I'm doing the temporary roof on the zip panels. And I don't see what the problem is here. It was quick. I didn't have to I didn't have to learn how to do the proper way. And I really don't care if it leaks a little bit. This is not intended to hold water. This is intended to direct the water that direction. And so I hope my berm works out here. We're gonna just find out. Yeah, this is all gonna, tomorrow it's supposed to rain, and I'm gonna come out here and see what is going on, what I have to fix, or maybe I don't have to fix anything. So anyway, it just goes out there to daylight, and what I really want to do is see tomorrow how it performs before I go ahead and start putting the drain pipe in and the stone on top of it, because if it doesn't work, I want to be able to fix it now. Of course, all the rubber is up high. It's all going to get trimmed off. It looks a little ratty, but and we've decided not to extend, even though the patio comes out a little further. I don't need to collect water out there. We'll just yeah, the collection of the water stops here. So, and I gotta take a break, and I want to get that tarp a little bit better. It's pretty junk, you know. It's not my best work. All right, that's it. We'll see tomorrow. Maybe I'll film tomorrow when it's raining to see how this is going. All right, see you later. Well, it stopped raining, so that's a good thing. I just made up this form. So this form is what is going to be sunk into the ground another 3 feet, and the 2 granite posts there are going to sit once these are removed, because there's a little notch in here in the concrete, and they will sit in there. So I am just getting ready for tomorrow. I'm not going to it's too late in the day to get started. I've got Portland cement on hand. I've got aggregate and sand, and tomorrow I got to dig this down and get it to the right height and located. And then I got to get, I think right now I'm going to go get the cement mixer out here and get everything ready, so tomorrow I'll be in good shape to get this poured. And the weather's still pretty warm, so I don't have to worry about freezing. So I want to get this this pillar and gateway and steps done, so then I can move on to other parts of this. Yeah, I went and looked at patio block stuff today, and I didn't order any, but I think we've decided on a pattern and color, and I just gotta pull the trigger and get that stuff ordered. They said they have it on hand, so just another step trying to get ahead of the game. All right, I'm gonna go drag out the cement mixer, and hopefully tomorrow morning excavator starts and we'll get that thing dug. Well, I forgot to turn the camera on. Bad, that's bad. I got the excavator here. I couldn't get it in line, but I got as close as I could. Let me get this. That string represents the front of the form. Well, not very good here. Approximately. So the bottom of the ladder is actually the correct depth. But this stuff, just like I've run into before, it's like freaking concrete. And the only way I can get through it is with a pick. It's like I'm mining for gold. But I don't have that much to dig out. Excavator did most of it. So I'll get this set out, and I'll get the form in and get ready to pour concrete. All right, there's the box. It's all it's as close as I get. The top is completely level. I think it's in a pretty good shape. So I made myself a little path here. I'm going to start mixing concrete, and hopefully I can just dump it in over that edge since I don't have really access over here. So that's the plan, is to set the mixer up, which is over there, set it up close by, and get concrete filled in there. And that should be that's as good as I can get it. That's what we got. Boy, what a mess. That's what we got. I'll pull the forms off tomorrow, and we'll start on the next section. And yeah, I think it's a big, heavy, it's going to work out good. I don't think the frost is going to get under it. Once again, I'm bad. I forgot to film this, but what happened was I took the form off of what I poured yesterday. I removed that form and reused part of it, the sides, to form this second part of the pour. Now, what that height is, what I did was this top of this form is 7 inches below the top of the finished grade of the driveway, so that when I put one of those 7-inch granite steps on here, of course I leveled this out with a power plane. It's perfectly level, so when I screed that off to its final thing, it just got poured. Gonna let it set for half an hour before I mess with it. When I put the 7-inch step on there, of course I have to cut it to length. That top step will be the final grade for the driveway, and I'll remove all of this form work. And there, the granite posts will go along the side, down into those little notches. That's the theory. And then there's one more granite step. And actually, I'm going to put the patio right up to that concrete, and then set the granite step on top of the patio. So I don't have to notch around it or anything. I think it'll give it a cleaner look. So it's Saturday, and yeah, I think if I mess with this tomorrow, putting granite on it, it's probably just too green. I probably should wait a day or two for this to firm up. We'll see what my patience allows. But now that we've gotten this part done, that gives me a concrete, no pun intended, height to actually get this patio to. It's no longer a big guess. Hopefully I've done all the measurements right. So the next step after we get that done is I'm going to actually form up a I don't know what you call it, edging along here, and pour this in concrete before I put the pipes in and the stone. I want to have this edging done. So now that concrete is poured, once I get the granite in place, the next step is that. So lots, just like everything, lots of steps. But I think tomorrow's the first day of November. I think I'm going to just make it before the cold weather sets in to have all the concrete and dirt work done. There you go. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, good morning. I couldn't help myself. I stripped the forms this morning and pretty happy with it. I checked it with the level. It's perfect, which is going to make setting the step a no-brainer because I don't have to shim anything. I just put it right on top of that. So the goal today, which is I'm going to set the first post, and then I've got to measure and cut the step, and I'm going to try a trick that I saw on the program This Old House, where they were setting a big stone and they had to get the strap out from it without disturbing the setting of the stones. What they did was they piled a bunch, a pile on either side of ice cubes, and they set the stone on top. You wouldn't think it was going to work, and ice cubes held it up, pulled the strap out, and a little while later the ice cubes melted and settled right down in place. No big deal. So that's what I'm going to try to do with the top step, because I don't want to be prying on that concrete because it's still green. So if I can get that first post set, the step, and then I can set the second the second post in place, and then I can actually backfill around it. And there's one thing I was going to say, this is all work that no one will ever see. It's just like in every building, it's the work that's under the building that's actually pretty damn important. None of this will ever be seen. So all that work, yeah. Anyways, but what I did want to say is when I was here with the excavator, I made sure that I tried not to disturb soil on this side of the future the future pour, and if I had to disturb soil on that side, because I know that that's going to settle, and that doesn't matter. It's just the driveway. I can add more fill if it settles. This side, I don't want the patio to settle. Try not to. So trying to keep this as undisturbed material as I possibly can. So give myself the best chance of the patio staying flat. Anyways, I'm gonna have breakfast, and then we'll start putting granite in place. All right, this morning I'm gonna work on these granite pieces to the steps. This is one of the two pillars, and I need to get it as square and flat as I can. This is the bottom side. So when it sits in those notches there, it gives me the best chance to get it to set plumb. So that's what I'm working on this morning. I'll set you up, and I'll try to trim these up. I gotta flip it over because I can't cut all the way through. Cut some from the other side. So it's gonna be a minute, and then I'll turn you back on. Well, that's the best I can do. It's pretty close. And yeah, that's all I just want to get, is it pretty close. I just noticed that this side of the has been cut. So there's a side that I want inside the gate, and I think I'm gonna put that on the outside of the gate so you don't see it so much. All right, I've got the big other post to do, and then I got to cut a step to length. What I would like you to do is to just lower it down slowly.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, stop right there. I want to see if I can get it without doing it. No, you're gonna have to lower it down, and I'm gonna have to.
Can you get your stick out?
No, just go ahead. Lower it down.
It's not going. Wait a minute. Okay, there it goes.
Keep going. Right. Hold on a second.
Oh, there you go. Ah, yeah, that's better.
Now you're going to have to start it up and lift it up.
Oh, lift it
Start
up.
the tractor.
Oh.
Leave the brake on.
Yeah.
It should be in neutral. Just start it up and lift it slightly.
No, it was in reverse for some reason.
All right. Let's go up. Just leave it running. Come here. You come here. Yep. I stepped on the edge like I told you like that. You sneak it, slide it, go. Sneak it away. Back up the other side. Up the other side? Yes. I'm going to put some rocks in here to force it over.
Oh, okay.
And it's all set.
Oh, good.
Oh, that went pretty well, except for the dirt. And this side will be a lot easier.
All right.
First post is in place. I was able to get this face perfectly plumb. And the other face, this face is really close. So I'm thrilled with that. Fit right down into the notch. Hopefully this one does the same. It's in there and doesn't wiggle. So now that I've got that, I just put the square on here. I actually got to cut the step to length because we ordered them. I think they're 4-footers and this is like 3'4" or something. So I need to cut that step. I need to square up the end and then cut it to length. And then I can get, that's the next step. Get the step in place. And then this post is all ready to go. We can just set this one in place. And hopefully, if I've done this, because the bottoms were all poured the same, the tops of the posts should be pretty much equal. All right, this is my grand plan. Hopefully it comes together. Should be able to move it around.
All right.
Well, it's on the ice
right, because
cubes.
it's on the ice cubes. Yeah.
So,
All right, is that secure?
let me undo the strap. Get the strap back. Let's see if this will actually work. Look at that. So it's got to go backwards a little bit.
That way.
Yeah.
Oh, I almost went too much, I think. Can you push it from that side?
No, I don't want to get over there.
Oh, that's better.
How's that?
That's good. Maybe, can you get it tight on that side? Give it a push.
I don't want to move it anymore because I've got to have to keep this one in line over
It'll
here.
just go like this.
No, and then it goes out front.
Oh.
See, now.
Yeah, and then we can go like this again. Look at that. That's a little tighter.
All right, I think that's pretty good.
Thanks.
We're going to leave it like that for now. I'm going to get the other post ready, and then I'll give you a call. Okay?
All right.
This post has got a little tweaking. It's got to move towards me a little bit, but I'm just going to get a ratchet strap to put around it, and I'm going to leave it there until the ice all melts and that step settles down, and then I can mess around with that. But I think it looks pretty darn good. All right, I'm done for the day, and this is where we're at. We're getting a little sprinkle here. This bottom step is just in here temporarily so that we can use the steps. And I filled this with some crushed stone. And I washed off the rubber because I'm just finally at a point where we can try to keep some of the mud out of the house. I don't know where the camera ended up dying. Battery died on me. Anyway, there's the steps. And I They're perfectly plumb and steps are perfectly level, but they're actually 1.75 inches too high. So the bottom of the step was still supposed to be 1 inch below the threshold there of the door. But as usual, nothing is perfect. Somewhere along the way there was a mistake made. I'm not going to change that. What I could do, I have a couple of options. One is they're currently 7 inches. I could drop them so that each step was 7 and 7/8, and that would make up the 1.75 inches, and that would still be code, meet code. But then I'd end up seeing this band of concrete in here, 7/8 of an inch of it, and there would be a gap under that stone, and I just I don't think I can live with that. So what I think is going to happen, what is going to happen is from where I'm standing to the door will be completely level. It'll be 1 inch below the door all the way to where I'm standing, and from here where this bridge and splash pool are located, it's going to taper up to that 1 7/8 inches. So it may be awful, may be the wrong decision, but anyway, I got to do something. So yesterday, the only thing I got done was this. I was hoping to get this all poured yesterday, but it didn't happen. So this is just a divider, a 4-inch wide divide. It'll be a concrete pour, 4 inches wide, that keeps the stone and water away, separated from the topsoil and grass. I don't want them mixing. This is kind of precarious because there's no big base on it to tip over, so when I fill, I've got to be very careful that I don't force this wall one way or the other. I'm not going to put any rebar in it. I think I am going to, once I pull the forms, I am going to take the big saw and score the top every, I don't know, 6 feet or something. So it's inevitably going to crack. Hopefully it cracks in those spots. I'm not really too concerned about it. And then tomorrow I got to form this leg of the boundary and add a stone in here. So, and then it'll just be left with this mess in here, which there's big debate on what it's actually going to look like. So I'm going to start mixing concrete and filling that up. And it's supposed to be cold and rainy for the next few days, so I think I'm just going to try and be patient and leave that pour till this weekend, which is 3 or 4 days away, and then pull the boards and actually hopefully get to be able to put the pipe in and the rock and regrade this and be done with this section. Trying to move ahead because winter's coming. All right, I couldn't wait. I stripped the forms off of this, I don't know, curb you want to call it, and it's ugly. The top, yeah, you know, the sides bow out down there, it's crooked, but none of that is going to matter because I'm going to clean this out tomorrow. I'm going to fold up the rubber up onto the side. I'm going to install the drain pipe in here and I'll fill it with rock, and at the same time I'm going to backfill this with dirt. And like I said earlier, I think I'm going to take the saw and kerf this, I don't know, 3 or 4 times along the top, because I know it has no rebar in it. I know it's going to crack. So if I can control that, that would be great. So the object tomorrow will be 48 hours of drying. The object tomorrow is to carefully fill on both sides so that I don't tip it over. And once it's filled, it's not going anywhere. So It's might look ugly on the sides, but you're only gonna ever see the top. And yeah, so I got that done, and oh, come on over here. I'm gonna put I have a oil furnace for the garage. It was given to me, and the guy who gave it to me and is going to help me install it said, you need to go get an insulated pipe. So I went and got that, and I got it installed. I think it really needs another 2 feet up top, but for the test, he's going to come tomorrow and look at this. For the test, I think it'll be okay, but I would like to add another 2 feet up top. But we're getting close to actually having heat in the garage before it gets cold. So that'll be awesome to be able to have heat and get my shop up and running. All right, there you have it. That's a little bit more and a little bit more, and eventually it'll all get done. Well, it started raining out. I think it's just a sprinkle. It's supposed to pour an inch or two tonight. So my goal is to get all the way up to here. So I got 3 more pipes to deal with. I think I should tape that while it's kind of dry. It's just race against time. You can see what's going on though. Got the drain rock in there, and I want it to become level. So I think it's looking pretty good. All right, I got all the pipe in, all the holes drilled in all the pipe. I'm missing one 45-degree with a 4-inch pipe. So that's this. That's going to be on that side of the bridge where the water's coming off of the main roof and into that. So there won't be any pipe beyond that. It'll just be a channel for the water to visually go in and disappear in the rocks and into those pipes. So decided to start misting out, and I decided not to get wet. So that's as far as I got. Unfortunately, I've got the rest of the day, but maybe the weather will cooperate, and I can actually get this finished up to the end of the curbing. But I don't think so. I think it's going to rain all day and be miserable and not decide what it wants to do. So we'll finish this tomorrow. All right, I've got like a wheelbarrow load of topsoil to put in here, and I am finally done working around the septic tank, which has just been I can't move it, I can't drive over it, and finally I've done everything behind the septic tank. So no going around that after one more wheelbarrow load. So last night we got about an inch of rain. The stuff I put in yesterday is all washed off and nice and clean. This stuff is dirty. I could get washed stone like this. So this stuff has got sand on it. It would, in the perfect world, this would all be washed stone so that the water draining through here would come out nice and clean. But the plan is to connect these pipes, and I'm going to do the other side of the building as well, and it's going to go into a 1,000-gallon septic tank with a brand new one, which will be a 1,000-gallon cistern of rainwater, which will eventually feed into a little swimming pond down there. And I guess in hindsight, I've been working towards getting our house as future-proofed as we can. So I burned firewood. I got lots and lots of firewood. The house will never be cold. We have generators to run the well pump, but next year hopefully we're going to be putting in a solar array with batteries, which will get us off the grid. And so that takes care of the electricity. Collecting this rainwater is another source of water, because we are currently in a drought. I think we're 9 inches below the yearly normal levels, and that'll help take care of some of the water issues. I'm also thinking about collecting the water off of the back of the garage and putting that into another 1,000-gallon tank over there. So potentially we'll have 2,000 gallons of rainwater on hand. I'd also like to do we have plans for a root cellar on the other side of the house, and that pretty much takes care of everything except for food. And we just have a small garden, so I don't think we're going to be raising all of our meat and vegetables, but we're going to do as much as we can to be future-proof. So that's what this is kind of all about. All right, I'm gonna get a load of topsoil, fill that in, and then I've got sawmill blades to go sharpen. All right, I think the next step out here is I gotta form and pour the wall that goes here, and then I've got to build a portion of this stone wall so that this concrete wall will butt into it. And then we've got to come up with a firm plan for the design of the actual patio. All right, hope you're all doing well. All right, I got the rocks pushed back for the winter to protect the septic tank. I got the rubber all cleaned off and some topsoil thrown in there. Now it's just that mess there, which I'll deal with tomorrow, and on to the next phase. All right, here is form work for the next pour. I put this board in here to give me something that's parallel with the foundation, to get that kind of, parallel and 90 degrees to the house, something that resembles something. This seems like the best transition I can do, and it's level with the bottom of the step up there, which is very good. And let's see what else. Oh yeah, I'm gonna actually change the angle of these pipes, and I'm gonna put a 290s or get them to come up this way further, because they're getting too close to where the walkway, and I want them over so that we have room for the bridge. All right, I've just got to peck away at it, knock one thing off at a time. I got that rock in there yesterday. That rock is permanent. All of those are kind of just temporary for the winter. Keep people from thinking that they can drive onto the septic tank. So that one's permanent. And then after this, I don't know. We'll see how far I get. It's really getting chilly at night, but I think it's still warm enough to pour concrete. So, all right. Good morning. It is a chilly, blustery morning. So I got that all in over there. So those walls, retaining walls, are done. And now that they're in, actually changed the pipe on here. They put a 90 on to get this pipe over, this drain pipe over. And I went to the masonry supply store and I said, I'd like to buy some patio blocks to make like a bridge. Oh, well, we don't sell them individually. So I said, well, do you sell granite? Something that I could use since it matches the steps. And I said, oh yeah, we have these 18 by 24 pieces. They're 1.5 inches thick. Perfect. So yesterday I laid these out. This is where the water coming off of the main house roof comes down here, splashes in this area, and it's going to go under this bridge. So this will be raised up, obviously, and this will actually be a bridge. So you see the water will go in that side and come out this side, and then I'm going to bring this raw. So today's project is to form up the last of the concrete walls. So there'll be, from that blue line is the height. Can you see that? That mark there is 1 inch below the doorway. So we're going to start from there. There's going to be a concrete wall that comes to here and goes all the way across over to there. I'm going to put some drainage reliefs under this wall so that water from that pipe will be able to drain out. And then we're going to form up one that goes across here under that side and then probably curved over to there. That's kind of the plan. So the first step is to get that section formed, and that will delineate where this is all the second wall is going to go. But so I went to pick up this stone. I went to pick up something, came home with the stone, and Kristen's like, well, why don't we just do the whole patio out of that? So I think that that's what we're going to do. We're not going to use patio pavers. We're going to use this material. And this one had a chunk taken out of it. You know what? I don't really care. The step up there has a little chunk taken out of it. I'm not looking for perfection. I mean, that's not perfect. Anyways, so that's what I'm up against today. I got those set in place, and I'm going to pull them out and start. I have no idea how it's all going to happen, but I got to put form boards up today. That's the job, and it's supposed to be bitterly cold tonight, so I'm not pouring concrete today, but tomorrow night's supposed to be warmer. So I think I'll get the form work done today and pour the concrete tomorrow, and that is the last of the concrete for the patio because it's getting too cold in the year. So all right, there's your update. All right, here's where I'm at this point. So the concrete wall will go in line with this and down and make a right angle. And I've got it over the pipe. Cut that one a little off, but it won't ever matter. These are just spacers, and you can see in the bottom, I don't want to make a dam here, even though that pipe goes through. So I took some leftover schedule 40, cut it to 4 inches, which is the width of the wall, cut them in half. I eased all the edges with a flap disc, and so they'll make little arches in there. And so there'll always be water, it'll never be a dam. So there's going to be 3 over there, 2 over here because this wall comes across, and a few on that side over there. All right, I'm going to start working on this part next. Got to go over this hump, and then that will really, and then I can work on the next half, which is just a straight shot, and then I got to make some kind of curve up. All right, this is where I've got to. I still have, the last bit is to make a curved section. I'll probably have to readjust that. I got to make some kind of a curved section. So this is the splash pool here. See, I got all the drain vent things in there. I still have to, what I'm going to make is I'm going to pour the concrete to here, and then I'm going to add an 1.5 inch board, which will bring it up to this level, and then I can have a nice, I can pour right to that top there, and the same over there. So this is just tons of figuring out here, and you know, it'll go fine. This is the hard part. The pouring of the concrete's the easy part. So I'm gonna take a break. When I come back, I gotta dream up something for that over there. All right, it is Friday morning, and it's supposed to be nice today and like pretty warm tonight, so they'll be give it a chance to dry. We're also gonna get rain, so I'm gonna have to cover this tonight, but I think I'm ready to start mixing concrete. I am gonna put another board across here, and on the back side of that stuff, I'm gonna actually put some of that round stone just to help hold everything in place. And that's my best attempt at a curved piece. The plywood I have, I've cut a bunch of pieces, and some of them cracked, some of them didn't. Those things there, the 4-inch wide spaces will pull out as I fill it with concrete. And that's it. These boards here, I'm going to pull those off, fill to that level, and put them back in, and then pour the concrete up to here. That'll make sure when I pull these off that those granite pieces are level with the top of this. All right, there's the pour. It's all done. I think it went okay. I got to let it set up before I messed with the tops anymore. And we'll see if I can take it apart tomorrow or the next day, and then we can get all these trip hazards out of here, and I can start finally putting some fill in here, and maybe it'll kind of resemble a patio. Well, I couldn't wait. It's the next morning, and I pulled off the forms, and they're not perfect down below, but none of that's going to be seen. And I also couldn't wait. I had to put on the granite that forms the bridge. So this is the splash pool, and there's a bridge, and the water will come out this side and disappear that way. And you can see I've got these channels for the water to go in and out. Now, I was careful, but apparently not careful enough. We got a little crack over here, and we got a crack here. I don't really care. Those are going to be surrounded on each side with those rocks. So I'll probably take the saw and I'll actually just cut that one, put another one over there and a couple other places. And hey, you know, it's not perfect. I really want to start backfilling this right now, but the other side of me says, yeah, you just need to wait a day or two and let this harden up. So I think that's what's going to happen. We're just going to I'm going to find something else to do today to occupy my time and let this harden up. And next step will be filling this all in with rock and putting on some patio surfacing. So All right, here's where I got to today. Just about to run out of battery. I got all the big stone in place, and I put a skim layer of the small stone, and that's got to be finished at that height. But so I'm probably going to compact this again. I think it's not quite right, but it's close. And we actually got the splash pool, the bridge, and all of this stuff drains that way. So the next big thing to do is finish all the stuff under, lift that step out, get that all done, and this stone up under there in so that we're ready to put these granite slabs down. All right, I'm just as bad as usual, and I didn't film stuff, but it really was, I went down to pick up the paving material and I just laid it down. And this morning I took the step out, filled under there, and put in these last 4 step pavers, I guess you want to call them. I threw the step back in. So this is just temporary. These two are in there permanently. This is all going to be pulled up next year and all be leveled out and done correctly with pipes in there and screeded out level and set down, because you see it's not level at the door. I'm also going to cut this concrete so that it's parallel, so that I can just slice pieces of granite and throw them in there. Yeah, this is really, I'm calling it as close as I can get it, because it's snowing out. I got all the concrete done and this thing laid down before we got any major accumulation. And that's what it looks like. So hopefully next year we'll get the rest of this done, and I get to work on a gate and plant some grass, and we'll be further along to having all the landscaping done. All right, there you go. Once again, that's the end of this video. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. All right, catch you soon on the next video. All right, welcome back everyone to the welcome back to the channel first, and welcome back to my first attempt at a patio build. And all right, I spent this morning loading up the tractor bucket, dumping it into the wheelbarrows, and hauling it over here, because I can't get the tractor over here. Oh, and after, I don't know, 4 or 5 bucket loads, I'm at this point now, and I'm not going to deal with that over there under that step. That has to be dug down and crushed gravel put in there, and I'm not dealing with that at the moment. But I just put in the last little bit of stone in here. This probably is all going to get modified a little bit, but we're going to try and see what it looks like. The next step is to add that fine round stone on top of this layer, and it needs to come up to there. I may take the hand tamper. I'm not going to get my walk behind compactor in here, so that's probably the right thing to do. I think I'm going to take the hand tamper and tamp all as much as I can, and then lay that little stone down. So this patio, we're only going to lay temporarily. We're going to actually do it in as granite slabs. We both love them, and so for this winter, I'm just going to do a run of slabs to the door and to the step, and then in the spring I'll probably have to pull them all up, compact everything again, level everything out, and then do the final installation. But we're kind of racing against the clock. I'm sick of walking in a dirt-filled ditch, and this is going to get us to a point where we look like civilians instead of hobbits, I guess. So anyways, sick of moving stone. I need to come in here and see that blue line that's right along there. That has to be, this stone has to be 2 inches below this. Or so I'm going to get a straight edge and just quickly check this. And then start, after I take a break, start putting some of this small stone down. It's supposed to rain this afternoon and tomorrow, so kind of race against the clock. But it's already looking better. I may end up taking some of this stone out of here. Kristen wants to see the water flow around here more. The pipes are right there, so I can't take too much out. But anyway, this is just a work in progress. So there's the update. I'll gonna take a break and then move some of the little stone, which is super easy. It's actually, and a couple of days from now we'll get in here. I got to go pick up the slabs and we'll actually put a walkway in place, and that will be the end of the patio build for this year. So getting there.